Okay, apparently we're live on air. And let's see what is happening. Pop out the chat. Gamer Frost already in the room. Got done by the coppers for turning around in your own driveway. You point out that the police tend to do whatever they want. Yes, they do. Like we found out in Victoria, they've been faking breath tests to do their stats as if they were doing their job when they were not. And hello, Catherine and BizBuzz. How's everyone this fine evening? That's an interesting. I just made myself a beverage. It's quite interesting. Okay, so yeah, we're off and rolling. Almost weekend. One more day of work. Oh, cool! Toby and Celtic King are here. Tara with the thumbs come down. Oh, because I'm baiting filth bag racist Tommy Robinson fans. Hey Charlie, how's it going? Because they're funny. It's like they're pretty spectacular, the Tommy Robinson groupies, because they're not just filthy racist scum. They're also completely divorced from reality. Yeah, it was a game of drum. Constables are in trouble. Oh, you spoke to the sergeant. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about your own driveway. I remember hearing stories of people getting fined for parking across their own driveway. And why are you, wandering cop finding me for parking in my own driveway? Go, well, you can't block a driveway. It's my driveway. You still can't park there. And thing. Yes, musical aviator. Basically, I am in troll bait mode tonight. It's almost inevitable there'll be some of them. I mean, hopefully not many. So, but a little bit of a diversion maybe. Well, I'm glad you got off after a bit of a discussion, Game of Frost, because it's sort of cops crossing the line into your own property is really annoying. Patman Sport, good evening. Oh yes, and the question that would always be, and I'll probably end up answering this a couple times. How is Aidsy? And I have spoken to him since last we spoke, and the answer is, as expected, unfortunately, not good. And because what we thought was cellulitis is actually something much worse, and it is a basically incurable disease, and it has like a Latin name, venal something or other. Venal inadequacy, I think it translates it. It's basically the veins in his legs collapsed and they're leaking. And so the reason his legs were swelling up was, there's blood escaping from his veins, basically. And it's like varicose veins finally giving up the ghost and cracking and leaking. And obviously the downside is bad, and it obviously, because the blood all gets out and gets contaminated and poisoned, it kill you. And so apparently what he has to do, there's some particular exercises, he has to try and lose some weight, and he has to sleep in a particular way, like with his legs up in the air. What are you doing, Game Frost? Okay, you're on the farm. You're putting cows on the other side, drove up behind you. Yeah, I mean, you were even working and they're hassling you? That's kind of bullshit. BizBuzz, Tommy Robinson reporting restriction. Oh, no. BizBuzz, there's actually a really quite famous media personality here in Australia. Darren Hinch was convicted for basically not quite the same thing. He didn't do it outside of court. He was giving out the name of accused pedophile who was on trial while the trial was still underway. And yeah, and the legal system's like, well, you're in danger of prejudicing the trial. There was a court order that the defendant not be named while the court case was ongoing. And Darren Hinch said, "Oh, you're protecting pedophiles." Well, they're actually protecting the legal system and trying to ensure a fair trial. And he was found guilty of contempt of court. I think he only ever got house arrest. I don't know if he ever actually went to jail. But these types of things, if a judge declares that there can't be public reporting of a court case because they think it'll prejudice the outcome of the trial, and you breach that and broadcast details and names of people in the trial, you get held in contempt of court, and yeah, you can end up in jail. And hey, Big Pat, how you doing? Celtic King, you're considering converting a Community of Christ an offshoot of the Mormon Church. If you like them, and if they're good people to you, your life is your own. Okay, Frost, yeah. I agree. While you're actually working on the farm, the cops shouldn't have hassled you, but yeah, at least you got it cleared up. Joel, oh yes, no, I'm deliberately baiting the racist Tommy Robinson groupies because they're fun and they're a really special sort of stupid. What I have little trouble understanding how they can so vehemently assert the opposite of the truth. It's really weird. Hey, Stella. And because, okay, you can, I guess, you can argue, oh, I don't think you should be in jail. But it's got nothing, again, Tommy Robinson's motivation was to foment unrest, basically. He was into stirring up prejudice and hatred, trying to extrapolate because the men on trial in the sex offence case were Muslim of South Asian origin. The obvious implication, all Muslims are like this. Although I don't think you'd want to go into actual raw numbers of sex offenders in England based on race, because I think you would find the register dominated by white people. But yeah, so he's trying to advance his bigoted agenda. But the thing is, like, it's absolutely cut and dried. He did the same thing previously. He broadcast details of an ongoing rape trial to advance his agenda, and he was arrested and found guilty, but given a suspended sentence. The judge said, and the judge directly said to him, if you pull this shit again, you should expect to end up in jail. So then he went right on and said, I'm doing it again. And he got arrested again. Like, initially, the cops just, they used, what is it in England? It's like public unrest or something. In Australia and a lot of states, they just call it summary offences laws. It's basically in pretty much every jurisdiction in the world. When it comes down to it, cops have the power to arrest you just because they think you're a pain in the ass. And they'll say, oh, you were causing a disturbance. Or we suspected you're about to cause a disturbance. Basically, I'm pretty sure every jurisdiction in the world has a law so that when the cops just decide they want you gone, they can get you gone. Like I say, in most places in Australia, it's called summary offences. I think in England it might have been called public disorder. So he's arrested because they're saying, oh, you're causing a scene. And then when he's in custody, a judge has just gone, motherfucker is on a suspended sentence for doing exactly that. He's guilty of contempt of court. Whack him in jail. So, and that's a weird thing that his supporters say, and they think it's the magic, proof that it's corrupt. He was arrested for public disorder, but sent to jail for contempt of court. It's like, it's how the legal system works, you muppets. And it's purely simply, the cops at the time wanted him off the street. So they're just going, okay, we're arresting you for causing a public disturbance, blah, blah. And they've got him in a cell, and a judge who knew all about him said, oh, right, you're guilty of contempt of court, you're going to jail. Like, it's absolutely cut and dried. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing was a criminal offence. He knew because he was on a suspended sentence, he was going to get sent to jail. And his idiot supporters seem capable of ignoring that. It's really fucking weird. Oh, Stella, yeah, sorry, related videos. If you watch my video on Tommy Robinson, you're going to get some awful, awful videos in related. Sorry, did I say hello, Mega Leech? I'm not sure if I said her. I saw your message come up. Oh, Pat, you sick, buddy? That's not good. Celtic King, everyone should love AngryAussie and Tara. Oh, you should love everyone. Yeah, Joel, you're flattering them, buddy, saying they're cherry picking and going for their alternative facts. They're at war with reality. It's like the reality is so simple that they're just at war with reality. And yes, BizBuzz, you do get the people who try to push the law to their limits so they can play victim. It's unrelated, because these people are actually completely within the law when they do it, or at least usually within the law when they do it. The open carry people in the US, who I find really offensive, they like strap their rifles or other weapons over them and walk around in public because I'm allowed to. And it's like, that just makes everyone feel unsafe and uncomfortable. And yeah, and they're just pushing it big as I can. It's just, I just think it makes you a fucking shit of a person. Oh, Celtic Kiki got your own profile, I just noticed. I want to see Tara naked. I know, if anyone stumbles in here, it's like, at some point in our live streams, someone's always talking about sex. It's kind of unavoidable. It happens. It's natural. It's a part of life. It's what it is. It's just a part of life. Yes, it's a thing. It always happens. But I mean, Joel, I agree with you. I think it is intimidation when they do that open carry thing, and they know they're being intimidating. But because usually when they do it, they're staying within the law. It's like intimidation in that they're being jerks, as opposed to intimidation in terms of like a criminal offence, like stalking or something. I just think it's jerk behaviour. You can argue all you like. It's my constitutional right. There's a law that says it. I'm not saying you're breaking the law. I am saying that I think you're a jerk if you do that stuff. I see Celtic King logging onto your own profile to keep Toby's clean. Dude, that's very thoughtful. I like that. That's very thoughtful. It's a good thing to do. Oh, look, I just got distracted because this book's still here. What Mrs. Angry's books, winemaking and home brewing. Because Mrs. Angry in the past has done a lot of home winemaking. We got boxes of the stuff. I don't know if any of it's in. I don't even drink wine. That's out because we were at a party recently, and I was like playing barman, making cocktails for people. And one of the guests, he was a home distiller, and he'd made this awesome liqueur. It was like lime based, And he said, yeah, like his family's like Eastern European, and it was grandma's recipe, and like he's from Czechoslovakia or something. And back home, they call this stuff, it's like milk spirit, because apparently when you're fermenting it, it's half milk. Like you start by distilling some of that super high octane spirit they have in Eastern Europe. It's usually called rectified spirit. It'll be between 85 and 95% alcohol, and then mixing that with milk, and you end up with this really nice liqueur. Stella, country internet's killing you. Bugger. Okay, well, thanks for dropping by, but I understand the frustration of not sticking around if the internet's bad. Hey, Gun Bunny. Pretty good, buddy. How have you been? Fortnite Madness. How was my day? My day was fine, actually, you know. Work. I hit one of my, what do you call it? It's like I switched off from work so much. I like made a deadline. A deliverable. I had my deliverable ready. I have to write documentation, business analyst, and had like a major milestone that I had to meet, and I did it. Fortnite, Bering got banned. To the best of my knowledge, that was only temporary. I think he got his main channel back. Not 100% sure. But yeah, I heard secondhand he got his channel banned, and then I heard secondhand he's back. Oh yeah, Joel, you're confirming he's back. Oh, dude, Gun Bunny, you're building a huge cubby house. Nice. I'm sure the kids are appreciating that, and you're possibly regretting starting it. But that sounds, I mean, the kids are going to appreciate that. Cubby houses are awesome. Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a giggle when I heard he got banned. But yeah, it's very interesting that they could block his channel for repeated offences and then get it back. So what it would seem is that there are a lot of reports against him. And then he's obviously appealed, and they've reviewed the appeal and went, oh yeah, maybe he's not that bad. Maybe it was too much. Hey, Roxanne, how's it going, birdie? Pat, I'm not sure I did see your YouTube video. Fortnite Madness, why doesn't he have the right to freedom of speech? Well, freedom of speech where it exists only refers to the government. It doesn't refer to private media companies being forced to give you a platform. So a private company can, for literally any reason, deny anyone a platform. It's just that they may face some repercussions. Like if they do it in a way that a lot of people don't like, people will stop using the platform. Chapter something through. What's my opinion of Bering? He's a boring, cowardly sack of shit who launches hate mobs against people and then denies that's what he's doing. But then again, that's because he's a fucking coward and won't even own what he's doing. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Oh, Game of Frost, really? That's a bit of trivia. I didn't know that. He was running hemp oil ad and YouTube was cracking on down on hemp ads. I see, because I don't watch his stuff, so I have no idea. Oh, so okay, so he had private sponsorship, but it was potentially for a product that YouTube didn't want advertised on their platform. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Fortnite Madness. I block him because he's a cunt. He's a worthless, sniveling, cowardly cunt that I don't want in my life. I mean, it's pretty fucking straightforward. And again, if anyone who refers to being blocked by someone on social media as censorship is a fucking moron, honestly. Celtic King, I have not received any video. I'm not see, the post office is meant to tell me if I get something in my mail, and I haven't got anything for a while. I don't work in the city anymore, so I haven't checked. And someone, I don't know, I think I have to remember to go in on the weekend and maybe check, because maybe they're forgetting. Yeah, Game of Thrones, you can watch Bearing as much as you want, man. The fact that I'm bored by him and don't want to watch him, it's, look, I don't dictate what anyone else does. You know, yeah, maybe there's music I don't like that someone else does. That's fine. It's personal taste. Whether it's movies, TV shows, books, YouTube channels. Have I heard of the EU? Look, I do know the EU has repeatedly over the last decade proposed absolutely terrible fucking laws about the internet that would fuck things up really badly. And I have made several videos on different laws proposed by different bodies. The EU was one. The different trade things proposed by the US, like the Trans-Pacific Partnership, is shit. Yeah, so I don't know specifically what the EU's trying now, but they have so many times decided they were going to impose particular laws on the internet that would fuck things up royally. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it again. Dude, yep, Game of Thrones, you find him funny, and that's completely Celtic King. Can AZ have the butt sex with his new condition? Well, it's his legs that are the problem. Maybe that means he has to be on the bottom now. I don't know. See, I didn't ask him because if I asked him, he would have provided graphic detail. His, you know, the term oversharing was, I think, coined for AZ. Oh, Fortnite, you're saying it revolves around links? Yeah, the EU and several other entities over the years has come up with utterly absurd ideas about what linking on the internet means, and saying you have to pay to link or it's theft. Hey, how's it going? Gun Bunny, I did hear that PNG, Papua New Guinea, one of our near northern neighbours, for those who don't know, was going to block access to Facebook for a month. I don't know if that was just a proposal or if they're really going to do it. But they were basically going to block access. So it'd be interesting to see if it happens. Pat talks to Fortnite. I know there are media outlets saying Fortnite should be banned. I guess I've never actually played Fortnite or even paid that much attention to it, but I kind of wonder how it could be worse than any other shoot 'em up. Rukazan, struggling, need a pep talk, buddy. Well, let's pep it up. Let's pep it up. Things to be done. Patman, you got to duck out, mate. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Chapter Sultan, look, I am aware of the existence of his girlfriend's channel, Sugar Tits. I've not even watched Bearing's videos about me. I've never watched a Bearing video. I've never watched a Sugar Tits video. So I'm aware of their existence, but I don't really know anything about them. What's that, Shabba? Ooh, you've got the exciting story today. You got arrested and held in the watch house for 4 hours because your aunt lied and said, oh, yes, you've said before family shit happening. My God, actually ending up in the watch house for a few hours, though. That's fucking... Celtic King, Fortnite's a computer game. It's a shoot 'em up. And I have the feeling Fortnite Madness might give us a bit of detail. But I think it's basically 100 players. Like it's an online multiplayer game, and 100 players all land in this environment, and then it's pew 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 pew, bang bang, boom boom boom, and you try to be the last one alive. I feel free to tell me how wrong that description is, but that's how I understand Fortnite. Similar format to that Player Unknown Battleground. For that matters, you think if by saying we have the freedom of choosing what we like to play, if you mean in Australia, no, we don't. If something doesn't get by the classification review board, we don't get that choice. And it's funny, like a lot of people refer to Australia's classification review board like it's a bad thing, but broadly, Australia's classification review board is much, much, much better than America's film rating advisory board. The American one's much more conservative, but you technically can't ban a film or a game or something outright in America because of free speech. A protection that doesn't exist in Australia. So occasionally, the Film Classification Review Board in Australia refuses classification for a movie, a game, in extremely rare circumstances, a book, and that means it is not legal to possess or view this in Australia. So because of that thing, that occasionally they outright ban something, people act like it's much worse than America. But broadly, America's film classification is much more conservative than Australia's. It's just that at the extreme end, something can be banned outright in Australia. As a government, you hit the nail on the head. My problem with Baring is that he sends hate mobs against people. What I really don't like is he won't even own up to it. And because he knows that's against terms of service, so he goes, oh, I don't want people to. It's bullshit. His whole thing is about sending hate mobs against people. Hope he's thinking of getting dreadlocks. Ooh. You just don't brush your hair, man. You get it naturally. A friend of mine at college, he was a motorcycle rider, and he went through his hair got a bit longer and he didn't brush it or anything, and it matted. Like, it wasn't neat dreadlocks, it was like really matted dreadlocks. Like, he hadn't tried to make it, and we went to college like in a country town, Western New South Wales, or central Western New South Wales, Bathurst. And he would quite freak people out in this country town, just like sort of taking off his motorcycle helmet and this wild matted hair under it would quite freak people out. Pat talks about saying a current affair overreacts on GTA. AZA basically overreacts on everything. Like, most of the time, I think they don't even believe what they're saying. They're just going for sensationalism and drama, and they'll do anything for controversy, and they just don't believe it at all. Celtic King, do I still have photos of this friend? No, I don't. See, I am old, and when I was at college, we still used film cameras, and so I didn't take that many photos because it cost you money. And I don't really have any photos of my college days apart from like my graduation photos. Oh, what's going on? He's saying he's had mobs turning against. This is the thing. That's almost a live by the sword, die by the sword thing. I mean, it's funny. There seems to be a whole cottage industry of right wingers making videos saying how much they hate me, which is really funny. Every now and then, someone points me to someone else I've never heard of who appears to be obsessed with me. It was like, yeah, dude, whatever, good. Yeah, Game of Frost. I thought I would actually get some of the real Tommy Robinson trolls, but not so much. Not so much. Oh, sorry, Aussie Gone Bunny. I missed the thing. Talking about the fat Aussie bastard. Yeah, well, I think if you steal money from cancer kitties, people tend to turn on you. It's like that can work against you. Oh, actually, I just realized I've only got top chat on. I don't know, live chat. I might have missed some things. Let's see. I've got live chat on now. Celtic King, you tried to have sex with the Jehovah's Witness girl, wouldn't piss off. I think I've told the story before in a live stream about a friend of mine back when I was living in Sydney, so this is 20 years ago, and some devout Christian girl from a really culty Christian church tried to win him over by having sex with him and thought he would go to church with her. And he was like, no, I'm an atheist. I don't believe that stuff. And she thought, and she was quite good looking. And she thought, like, if she got him hooked on the sex, he'd go to church. And he's like, no. And it was the most bizarre thing to see because he was always honest. He's like, no, I'm not going to church with you. And she goes, no, I don't know if I can sort of keep seeing you if you don't. He goes, well, I guess it's goodbye then. And then she'd try again, as in have sex with him some more. And she thought she had him hooked and said, okay, how about church? He's going, nope, I told you no. And it was the strangest thing. She did eventually stop. And she really thought that he would come to church with her when she stopped. And he was like, no, not interested. Sorry. Chap, you never been to church? I was brought up Catholic. I was even an altar boy for years. So I went to church every Sunday until I left home, basically. So, yes, that's the old Catholic upbringing for you. It's funny, every time I say I was brought up Catholic and I was even an altar boy, I always feel compelled to add, never fiddled with by a priest, though. And then it's like protesting too much. But I'm not even aware of any priest fiddling controversies ever in my hometown. Like it's pretty goddamn widespread, as we found out when there was a royal commission into institutional abuse of children. Uh, but um, but yes, not in my hometown. I've never heard of any. Not while I was there, or I don't think anything came out in the Royal Commission. So, hey, that's a King of Fantasies, the fuck a pair of Mormon missionaries. There's some cute Mormons. No getting around that. God, I just remember a story about someone feeding. I don't know if it's Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses, but feeding them hash cookies. And then getting into trouble for it. Ruki said, was I too pretty to be diddled? I don't know. I just think that none of the priests swung that. I was, I grew up in a town called Dubbo, Western New South Wales, and there was north, east, west, south Dubbo, and I was in North Dubbo, which was honestly the seedy part of town. And we had a little parish church there. The main parish church was sort of in the centre of town. But we had a little parish church, and with a priest who was actually Irish. Well, he was Irish born. He'd been in Australia for a long time. But he had a housekeeper. He was old when I was a kid. Like he was like 60 when I was a kid, and his housekeeper was quite old. But we couldn't help thinking, oh yes, housekeeper, is it? Is that what's going on there? That's his housekeeper, Mabel. Joel, look, you may be right that they're not supposed to take food or drinks, but this was actually reported in the media. And this was pre-internet days. This guy was actually up on charges. I think it was treated as poisoning or something. But yeah, I mean, you raise a point. Maybe it's urban legend. I just know it was actually reported in the media, and we all know that occasionally things are reported in the media that aren't true. So, you went to church 5 times, and you're a godfather without having opened a Bible. You chewed the communion. You don't chew the communion wafer. You, with proper respect, make it dissolve in your mouth. You just keep it on your tongue. Chewing is crass. Although there's a thing. Not everyone did it, but if you like sort of dry crackers, some people really like the communion wafers, and there were more than a few stories of altar boys stealing communion wafers and having them like a snack. If they're not consecrated, they're not the body of Christ. They're just little wafers. Declan, it goes fairly well with me. How goes it with you? They like LSD. Well, you can put liquid LSD on them. Yeah. Sorry for that, Aussie Gun Buddy. Hear about the Buddhists who are all overweight because they're drinking really sugary drinks when they're fasting and can't eat. That seems like cheating. Drinking sugary drinks. Like, I think Muslims, when they fast in Ramadan, they're not even allowed to drink water in daylight hours. But yeah. Hatma, what kind of wine do they use? I think it varies, but I think it's commonly non-alcoholic wine, so basically grape juice. Probably lightly alcoholic in some places. Declan, what I'm actually doing is baiting Tommy Robinson groupies because they're funny. Joel, you think I should be trying friends with Bearing? See, the problem with Bearing is he's a cunt, and he's a liar, and he acts in bad faith, and he's nasty and cruel. And those are all reasons to not be friends with someone. Someone's a liar, they're dishonest, they're consistently acting in bad faith, and they take great joy in being cruel and spiteful. Yeah, not someone I want to be friends with. It's a crazy thing with mine. Declan, yes. I mean, I couldn't help it. Like when Tommy Robinson got done for contempt of court, I knew they would be up in arms. So I knew I could bait them, and wow, they're spectacularly stupid people. Like, seriously, spectacularly stupid. Absolutely divorced from reality. It's like, yeah, sure, be a nasty little racist, bigoted shit. That's you. And it's like, but just denying the actual reality of what happened is really weird. Game for look, dude. It has occurred to me, if I wanted to get a lot more views, it would be as simple as actually engaging in the drama, actually deliberately attacking Bearing, or what was that other guy, sad fuck of ass hats, and basically anyone who had a go at me, making videos having a go at them personally. I just don't want to be defined by them. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's just not something I want to do. It's as simple as that. Oh yeah, Declan, Kevin Logan, he gets right into it. He wades down into the mud, and also because he's from the UK, so I'm not surprised it's been a bit fierce for him with the Tommy Robinson groupies. Aussie Gun Buddy, nice play on words. His name's an oxymoron because bearings are supposed to be smooth, useful, and make life easier. I love a good play on words. As Eric is a workmate you've spoken about has been doing his community break from centre conservatives. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm seriously working with someone who is a climate change denier and thinks Trump is great. And it's work, man. So I just never engage. I never, yeah, and I don't pick fights with this guy. In a work context, I am friendly and collegial, as they say. But I do not engage in any conversation about climate or that thing. Celtic King, can you give me a dick massage? No, I think Mrs. Angry would object. Declan, what's the funniest group? The funniest Tommy Robinson groupie. But see, they all have the same talking points. They all's like, "Oh, you don't know what happened." You go, well, "Yeah, I do. It was really well reported." I mean, I don't know about funny, but to me, the absolute most bizarre thing about Tommy Robinson groupies um, is that they go, "What did he ever do that was racist?" And I was like, "Come the fuck on." That's the central thing with that's what he is. That's what he is. And that's why you like him, because you're a racist. I mean, why would you say something as stupid as someone whose core and basically sole public expression is bigotry and racism? Why would you say something as stupid as he's not racist? I get it. Oh, Celtic King, you and Toby have to go. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Look after yourself. Hope everything goes well. Megaleech, you make a good point because I have talked about Bearing in live streams and called him a cunt. Does that count as making attack videos? Well, it's buried within a live stream, and the live stream's not named after him. But as we all know, uh, he's he has come in here under a false name, pretending to be some kid, told very obvious lies, and then got upset when I said you're full of shit. Fuck off. So he's actually come into my live streams just to cause shit as well. Hey, James, how are you? Yeah, Declan, you're right. That's the stupidest thing bigots ever say when they're engaging in ridiculous anti-Muslim rhetoric is going, "Oh, what race is Muslim?" I go, there is literally nobody has ever used that line. Nobody has ever used that line. Oh, you can't, yeah, what race is Muslim? No one has ever said that who wasn't racist and bigoted to their core. It's as simple as that. Game Frost, yeah, you're right, he hasn't done it lately. To the best of my knowledge, he only ever did it once. And not a big deal. If he wants to do that and then completely misrepresent what happens, it's like fucking whatever. Just do it. Look, I am at the moment. I'm slightly torn at the sad and obvious. Game for us, you seen it 3 times. You're paying far more attention than me, dude. Um, I, Jake Robbie, I think your community should fucking drown you in a toilet. Okay, fuck off, you boring cunt. It's just like if any of these fucking racist, bigoted trolls would ever vaguely act in good faith, I would actually respond to them. But it's just thinking like, why won't you engage me? Because you're a waste of time and energy. It's like, if you genuinely wanted to engage and listen, then I would take some time. But it's like, Megali, she was just spouting, go, oh, African crime gangs, oh, warning, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson. It's, it's just, if you're just going to spout stupid, fucking, disproven talking points and not seriously engage, then I'm not going to waste time. Oh God, Pat talks. My thoughts on school shootings in America. Depressing as fuck, and I refuse to be. Sorry, I refuse to be overly worked up about something that's just going to keep happening. It's just like, fuck it, man, whatever. Sorry, it just always cracks me up when fuckhead bigots make common misspelling. I'm a waste. WAIST. Awesome. Master English, you pig fucking moron. And also just saying Marxist like it's an insult. It's like, hey, and I'm not and never have been a Marxist, but saying, hey, that's you are literally saying, hey, you person who has looked at political structures, read up on class systems and whatnot, and have decided to follow this well-established and well-argued ideology. What do you think you're doing with that? It's like, literally, all you are doing is proclaiming to the world how fucking ignorant you are. It's like, it's really embarrassing seeing those people flail about and thinking they're making a point. It's really fucking bizarre. Pat talks. It's the halftime surge of trolls. We're even just commenting that there weren't that many of them. Feeling and Sealer, that was it. That I am 100% with you. That was the stopping point. Sandy Hook, when a bunch of white preschoolers got murdered and no one did anything about it, to me that was like, yep, fuck it. No one cares. Nothing's ever going to change. America's fucked. And I'm just like, I am not expending emotional energy on something that is so utterly fucked. But yeah, it's just, if I thought something would change ever, I might invest in the circumstance and cheer people on, whatnot. But I just feel like nothing is ever going to change, so I'm not getting invested in it. Sorry, now we're just keeping a running tally of the thumbs down. Way to bring it up. To bring the mood up. Oh, the joke about saying Marx Brothers. It's just like attending a meeting of Marxists and saying well, I think we could all learn from Marx when he said, last night I shot a duck in my pajamas. That gets you thrown out of the Marxist meeting if you say that. Hey, David, how's it going? Or then you go to a Marxist-Leninist meeting and just go, well, as Lenin said, all I'm saying is give peace a chance. And they will also throw you out because they are not renowned for their senses of humor. So, Oh, that's a good money. I get what you're saying about worrying about being caught one of these crossfires, because outside of war zones, uh, the America seems like the most dangerous place to be outside of wow, dude. I was just looking at I don't even want to dig for this Richard Seeger's calling him a troll. You're just so fucking stupid. It's just like, do you not get? I mean, you don't, because you are stupid. It's like the Dunning-Kruger effect. You have no idea the degree to which you're showing the world how fucking stupid you are. It's like, what the fuck? I often wonder about how empty someone's life must be to fucking behave like that. It's just like, oh, fucking take up a hobby, you fucking loser, or masturbate more to porn. Just yeah, because I fucking don't give a fucking shit about you. I think you're flattering that dickhead by making the options drunk or young. Just very fucking stupid. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to object to porn. I was in a little bit of a mood on Facebook the other day, and some fuckhead Trump supporter left an astoundingly stupid comment. And I was like, yeah, okay, fuck off, dickhead. Then they said, I'll pray for you. And I went, cool. While you pray, I'm going to masturbate to porn. And only one of us is going to see a result. Was that too far? Uh, really just trying to express to this person how little I cared, basically. It's just like, dude, you pray all you like. There's no one there. But yes, I should do stand up. Uh, Look, because I have done stand up for AZ, was a very successful stand up comedian about 20 years ago, before he got really sick. Um, and I have done some live stuff. Live is interesting, and every now and then I think about doing it. Uh, um, but I don't know, it's too much like hard work as well. Oh, David, I like that. We'll make it trendy. Thumbs down is the new thumbs up. Tara, you're picking fight with a former SAS soldier told them to get fucked out of Australia. Oh, well. Not the first person I'd pick a fight with, but I mean, also, troll season must have closed. I mean, I don't know. Game of Frost, I think maybe his mum told him to fucking clean his bedroom or something. Oh, no. It's not his mum who would have told him to clean his bedroom. It's Jordan Peterson, the daddy figure. Hello, Jim. Um, yeah, James, I don't get it. People say, like, why don't you make a video to you? Because I don't watch these people that I don't like. And when people obsessively, when I mean, like, dude, it's completely legit to not like what I say. It's completely legit to disagree with me. But why the fuck are you obsessing over me? Why? I don't understand. Why are you obsessing over me? Jim Heather, what's my real name? Ask your mum. She screams it out when I fuck her. It's God. That's what your mum screams while I'm balls deep. So yes. I can see you're going to last a long time. I will just throw it out there that the cardinal sin is being boring. Aussie Gun Bunny, the sexual attraction thing, I think it's there. I think, like, honestly, I think that was how I got, um, what's his name? Sad fuck of ass hat, who wouldn't fucking stop making attack videos. And he seemed to be really upset that I would never respond to what he did because I just didn't care. Um, and so I did make a video with AZ. We were just laughing. And like, it's like, look at it, dude. I'm not saying, is this a notice me senpai thing? Is that what's happening? Because it feels like he's really obsessed. It feels like he's got a thing here, and it's like, dude, flattering, but I don't swing that way. I mean, if you want to focus on someone who might be up for it, AZ would be your man. I mean, but dude, it's really sad that you seem so fucking obsessed with me and so upset that I won't respond, but I just don't care. And that was the last I heard of him. Actually, didn't his YouTube channel get? It's hard for me to keep track of, like, who got kicked off YouTube and who got kicked off Twitter, who got kicked off Facebook. It's very hard to keep track of. Oh no, now we're being asked. We go from Celtic King would fuck anything with a pulse to does it actually need a pulse? Yep, Aussie Gun Money, you're right. Throw AZ a bone or a boner. He's happy. That would make him happy. Jim Heather, how you usually greet people by first name? Well, Jim, my first name's Andrew, and weirdly, because even like my real life friends through YouTube, even when I'm with people in person, they tend to call me Angry. It's really funny. People who've known me for years and know my real name still call me Angry. James, see, that's the thing. I don't expect people to agree with me all the time because I do have some fairly extreme opinions. But I'm not going to hold back. Like, I do have some friends I've made through YouTube who are really conservative. But they're just like, man, you're just saying what you fucking want, aren't you? All right. And if someone's not a fucking racist or a fucking bigot or a maggoty pile of shit, I don't mind that their politics are different. It's just when someone pushes stuff that's viciously cruel to other people, I'm not going to have a bar of it. Benjamin Beloved, we're upset when Nelk got kicked off YouTube. I don't know who Nelk is, my friend. Oh, Aussie Gun Bunny. Oh, yes, AT's still very happy with young Jace. Although he's upset at the moment because this fucking horrible thing he's got going wrong with his legs. He has to, like, sleep on the lounge with his legs up in the air, so he can't actually sleep with his boyfriend, which he's a bit upset about. But no, they're still but very much an item. And it is, you are absolutely right, it is very nice to see him so happy. And Jace is friggin' awesome, quite honestly. AT reveling in Jace is much younger than him. Jace is still in his 20s. Making AZ definitely a dirty old man. But Jace knows what he's doing, so there you go. Oh, yeah, no. The legs thing is fucked. Like, he called me yesterday and updated me like he just got out of hospital again, but now they know what's wrong with his legs. But the downside is it's incurable. And fuck. Game first look. I would wager if I talked to Bearing about 100 subjects, there would at least be some subjects that I agreed with him on. That's you just like but I don't spend any time on him because he just out of the blue fucking launches attacks on me, and it's like, well, fuck you, man. Gemma, did you say he kept fucking up his Rogan? Yeah, he gets really upset because He knows the medical system here so well. It's like when he's in hospital, like when you're in hospital, there's a hospital bill, but they drug you up with hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of drugs that you don't pay for. But the instant you leave the hospital and they say, oh, now you have to have this prescription, then you have to pay for the prescription. And so he's very careful about when he gets things when he's in and out of hospital. But he gets me, oh, yeah, Game Frost, dude. I'm glad that you're comfortable enough to share and say you like some of Bearing stuff. I'm glad that you know that I'm okay with that. I don't mind. It's just if someone's mindlessly attacking me and saying dumb shit, I have no patience for that. I just, it's like, fine, dude, think whatever you like of me. I don't care, because literally just after I block you, I am never thinking of you again. While you're sitting there fuming and obsessing and thinking how evil I am and it's against the law for me to block you, I have stopped thinking about you and I will never think about you again. James, 100%. The free speech crowd are such fucking hypocrites. As everyone's pointed out, virtually everyone who's gone, oh, Gummy Robinson, free speech, it's outrageous. Oh, Roseanne, free speech, it's outrageous. Those same people have gone, oh, football players taking the knee in a silent, non-violent protest, that's disgusting. They're unpatriotic. Sack them, throw them in jail. It's like the fucking hypocrisy does my head in. Well, again, first, I'm sure I falter occasionally, but I do try to be honest. I try to be consistent. I'm sure I falter occasionally. How's it going, buddy? Yes, my opinion bearing is the same as the dude. That's just like your opinion, man. The dude abides. I love John Goodman in The Big Lebowski. Because he's clearly very intelligent, but he's also sort of been pushed over the edge and stuff. Like just when he starts telling everyone about the nihilists and what drives them, but he's obsessed with rules and he just pulls the gun out. Am I the only one who pays attention to the rules? Catherine, yes, you highlight that some people think free speech means free to be an asshole with no repercussions. Yes. I reckon what you've hit on there, Shahatma, is what I've always said. The internet's greatest strength is also its greatest weakness. Catherine, I knew you meant should not, okay? Because basically, before the internet, if you had any sort of fringe belief, you could feel alone your whole life. And that just meant, like, I grew up in a country town. If you were even slightly different to the mainstream, it was very alienating. Man, and it's like, I'm not even gay or non-white, and I could feel marginalized. But you could easily feel really marginalized. But now, with the internet, you could always find people of a like mind, no matter what it is. And that's great. And also horrible, because you can find people who love Hitler. You can find people who genuinely believe the earth is flat. You can find people who genuinely believe the earth is a globe, but it's hollow and there's a lizard people civilization inside, and all the world leaders are lizard people wearing human skins. And I am not exaggerating. There are probably millions of people worldwide who subscribe to that view, and it's fucking terrifying. Oh, feeling silly, cool, yeah. You say I make you think so. That's a compliment, and that's a challenge that I take on. I do hope to give people food for thought. I mean, obviously, a lot of what I'm doing, if not most, if not all, what I'm doing is catharsis. It's just like, fuck, look at this situation. It's fucking crazy, and get it out of my system and give other people some catharsis. But I also do try and present stuff that might make people examine their views and maybe think things through. Feelings here, the only gay in the village. The I'm trying to, again, because I grew up in a fairly small town, and I think for real, there was only one dude in the town who was openly gay. Oh, he said he was bisexual. There was a big thing in a pub one night. So, yeah. But yeah, no, I grew up in a town where no one, or maybe one guy, was openly gay. Who's at the door? Oh, you're back early. Earlier than I expected, anyway. Oh, it's just dinner. That's. Oh, you're getting something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Young Mr. Angry is just out. He's turned 18. I'm old. My youngest just turned 18. I'm so old. Been out for dinner. I'm old. Oh, Joel, the knowledge gurus, man. This YouTube has taught me it's real easy to start a cult, basically. Oh my God, Ruka-san, you found a copy of Mein Kampf in your old housemate's shit. I tear it up during a live gig. Nice. I remember a guy in school, college, saying like he wanted to try and read Mein Kampf to see what it was about, but the only copy in the library was in German, and the library also had a German to English phrase book, and he thought maybe that'll help. But then he tried to read it and he goes, "You will be surprised how rarely Hitler said in Mein Kampf, 'Can you tell me the way to the bus stop?'" So he gave up. How's it going, buddy? Any gay bar in town's closed down because no one wants it. Damn. Oh, Charlie, when your boyfriend lived in the country, people didn't like him having coloured hair. Yeah. Man, people in the country can be fucking brutal. Cool, Gamer Frost. First gay person you met, you were 11 and you're still best friends. That's cool. Change. Yes, I think you sum it up. Hitler was obsessed. And yes, Mein Kampf was way more about nationalistic German pride rather than really going on about the Jewish problem. But yeah, dude was obsessed. That's it. Oh, Rukasan, you're definitely punk rock tearing up a Mein Kampf during a gig. Oh no, Phil and Sheila. I've watched so much Little Britain. The only gay in the village. Yes, Aussie Gun Bunny. I must be coming up to like my 13th anniversary on YouTube or something. And I haven't had the kids on since they're about 10 years old. Again, Frost, you're right. I think if people who you know, like on Facebook or anything else, attack you because you have gay friends, it tells you all you need to know about those people. But yeah. Oh, dude, Rick said you're going to put me on the door for the punk gig where you tear up Mein Kampf. Like it. Yes. Yeah, well, I hope everyone's a bit more cool with it now. I think, look, honestly, attitudes have changed so much in the last couple of decades. But yeah, there's still a lot of shit about. But like I say, if someone okay, that whole Roseanne thing has set people off so much. Facebook on friends posts, I try not to fuck up other friends' posts, but someone who I've known for a while posted a thing about Roseanne and it all went blah. And so I just threw in a few things like someone was posting this picture of Whoopi Goldberg wearing a t-shirt with a cartoon of Trump blowing his brains out. And I pointed out that was fake. You know, they were trying to say equivalence. Oh, if Roseanne loses a job for being racist, Whoopi Goldberg should be thrown off The View because of this t-shirt. Well, apart from the fact they're not related, the Whoopi Goldberg thing was actually completely fake. And most people are like, oh, okay, that's fake. But I had this one lunatic at Snopes is left-wing propaganda. Joel, the Roseanne thing, that's Roseanne Barr, who got her show Roseanne relaunched, recasting her character as a mad Trump supporter. She, well, she was basically, she had for a while been posting really offensive stuff, but she posted an ape reference to a black woman, and everyone thought that was a step too far. Lion Spider, town where you grew up, LGBTIQ can be themselves. Great. Oh yeah, man, fuck the 80s. The 80s was a bad time. That's when I grew up. Crayons, what's my stance on political correctness? My stance on political correctness is 9 times out of 10, people who use the term political correctness as a negative actually mean treating people with basic human decency is a negative. Like, and I'm quite serious. Anyone who tries to make a big song and dance about political correctness has gone too far. 9 times out of 10, what they're saying is treating people with basic human decency has gone too far. But yes. Oh, look, as you say, Aussie Gun Bunny, Hitler is well worth studying because what he achieved was amazing. That obviously doesn't mean you have to like Hitler, but you can look and say, well, tactically, how was he able to achieve what he achieved? Joel, how many genders are there? Gender is not a binary. If you speak to someone who is actually a biologist, actually a scientist, they will give you a long list of reasons why gender is not a binary, and anyone who asserts gender is a binary has an extraordinarily limited understanding of both human biology and sexuality. Crayon, can I elaborate what I think PC is? No, because it's not my fucking term. I just told you what I think about people who use the term political correctness as an insult. It isn't a term I use. I don't think political correctness is a thing. I think it has become a generic insult used by fuckheads who just want to treat people like shit. So I can't tell you what I think political correctness is because it isn't a term I use. Catherine, is gender a spectrum? I think that depends how you see it. Like I think, talk to a biologist about even physically gender isn't binary. And you can get into, you know, when you talk gender, is it identity or is it something a physical thing? Even physically, gender isn't a binary. Even people go chromosomes. No, even at the chromosomal level, gender identity is not a binary. Yeah, intersex people are about as common as redheads. So, and that means people who are not physically not binary gender, be a mix of genders, like sometimes externally, sometimes in the chromosomal level. So yeah, it's just basically rather than obsessing over it, I almost feel like just let people live their fucking lives. Yes, Aussie Gun Bunny, that joke about I identify as an attack helicopter was not everyone realizes it, but it was started as transphobic abuse. Yes. Again, for us, your phone's going to die. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Good to see you. Kinsey proved it. Kinsey liked to research about sex. Yes. Look, my drink's empty. I think I should get a drink. I need some ice first. I need some ice. Oh, ice, baby. Thanks. That's ice. Oh, I know what I'm going to make. I'm going to get What am I going to get? I'm going to get this. And a coconut. The lime and the coconut. It's my chili rum. James saying India has up to 7 genders. India has been very open. A lot of older cultures have been very open about recognizing different genders. Fila and Sela, the Pope says some things that are very progressive compared to previous popes, but then he also says stuff that's not so progressive. But, you know, by papal standards, he's pretty progressive, and that's not bad. But, you know, still the whole using religion to dictate people's lives thing is not something I'm really behind. All right, I'm gonna have some fruit juice in my drink. Because I'm a health nut. I need my vitamins. Make my drink a bit tropical anyway. Put a bit of that in. That's probably enough of that. Put the lime in the coconut. Jerry saying, didn't the Pope say something about Donald Trump supporters having a fascination similar to eating poo? I would doubt it. I would doubt he said that. I've not even heard a suggestion that he said that. That does not sound like something he'd say, quite honestly. Said media fascination. I'd have to look that up. I did not see or hear of the Pope saying something about eating poop. It is. That's what it is, Roxanne. It's my brain medicine. Nice color, isn't it? Oh yes. RS Partridge, where are they giving away free Tommies? Everyone could have a Tommy in their house, and if they're free, we should all get one. Where are the free Tommies? Are they in the fuckwit store? That's where I think they'd be. I think they'd be in the fuckwit store. If everyone wants a free Tommy fuckwit in their house, go to the fuckwit store where they're giving them away for free. Roy, you think India leads the word in contemporary slavery? I don't know. Slavery, as in people enforced labour, is frighteningly widespread around the world. Actually, it's, in fact, I think it's been estimated there are more people in forced servitude in the world today than ever in history. Before. Ever. And that is really disturbing. And yes, I'm sure it happens in India. I know it happens through Asia, Middle East, definitely. And I think, depending on your definitions, it's happening in Europe, America, and Australia as well. Ruku-san, we should get a free Tommy Wizu. We can't have a free Tommy Emmanuel. That's sad. He died. Why did you bring that up, Ruku-san? Now I'm sad. Tommy Emmanuel died. Ooh, Megalich, free Pepsi Max Vanilla at Coles for Flybuys users. I'm interested. I, for one, am interested. Jim Heather, if it helps you out, my thoughts on you are you're a stupid cunt. You know, just throwing that out there. Tommy Wiseau, the room 2, he seems to be really lapping up the attention. You know, like The Room had been a cult movie for years, and now the sort of dramatization of his story was what was that called? I've forgotten. The Disaster Artist. Yeah. And he seems to be really lapping up. I think he started a YouTube channel or something. What a character. What a character Tommy Wiseau is. Well, who was it who died, Ruku-san? Someone died just the other day. I thought it was Tommy Emmanuel. I think we might get to upset Ruku-san here. Who was it who died? Okay, not Tommy Emmanuel. He's still alive. But someone of his vintage, someone of his style, died recently. I can't think who it was. Phil! It was Phil Emmanuel. Right, it was Tommy's brother. Right. I knew it wasn't Emmanuel. Thank you, Charlie. The chick from The Weakest Link to... Oh, sorry, yes. I know who you're talking about. Crayons, I think you're a lying sack of shit, okay? I don't think you're from Denmark. I think you're a right-wing cunt who's promoting typical obnoxious racist right-wing talking points, and you're a piece of shit. Basically, I think you're a liar and a piece of shit. Okay, are we clear? Here it said, local man ruins everything. Oh, possibly the best Homer Simpson headline ever. Lie Spider, the Pope did say journalists shouldn't descend into coprophilia. Oh my God. He actually said, don't eat the poo-poo. Hey, Cliff Jumper, how's it going, buddy? Look, Aussie Gun Bunny, you're right. There's a bunch of people worked on that show lost their jobs because of Roseanne. But I was saying on Facebook, when people say, I'm sad for everyone on the Roseanne show who lost their job because of how shitty she was, I'm reminded of Kevin Smith's first film, Clerks, with the discussion they have about contractors on the Death Star. We're talking about how, you know, I'm totally okay with blowing up the first Death Star. It was full of stormtroopers, but the second one was still under construction, so it was probably full of contractors, and they didn't deserve strike. Hey, Sean, how's it going, mate? And while they're talking about was it bad to kill the contractors on the Death Star, an actual contractor's in the store and said, I overheard your conversation. I'm a contractor. I was offered a job at a mafia boss's house and I didn't take it. And a friend of mine did take it because the money was good. And then while he was there, there was a hit on the mob boss and he was killed in the crossfire. He knew what he was getting into. Those contractors on the Death Star deserved to die. They knew what they were getting into. Okay, the boring people are leaving the room now. So, yes, I think I've tolerated boring, stupid people for too long. It is time for them to go. Sean Higgins. Oh, the Amazon news. That's one we haven't talked about. For those who don't know, Amazon is going to block access to the Amazon US online store in Australia because of changes to GST law in Australia, which they say that's too complicated. We can't be bothered complying with it. We're just blocking access by Australians. And it's shit. I reckon this alone could lose the Liberals the next election here in Australia. Cutting off people from Amazon because Jerry Harvey promised them, pushed them to do it. that's the quote, Rukasan. Do you think the average stormtrooper knows how to install a toilet main? All they know is killing and white uniforms. Yeah, Gun Bunny Trolls, they arrived late. It took them about an hour to do it. Rukasan, you met Kevin Smith once. How was that? Oh, yes, Megaleech, I did see Amazon picked up The Expanse, a sci-fi series, to make a 4th season. I still have not watched The Expanse. It's on Netflix at the moment, first 3 seasons. And yeah, so many people have said it's worth watching. And I may watch it. It's just, I love it. We always get into discussions of TVs and movies and who's watched what. and there is so much good stuff. It's hard to keep up with. I just recently got into the Santa Clarita Diet, which has just had the second season put up on Netflix. That show's fucking hilarious. It's like the leads are Drew Barrymore and Timothy Oliphant, and they're fucking hilarious. I mean, Drew Barrymore's done a lot of comedy before, but Timothy Oliphant, like I loved him in Justified, crime drama show. He was fucking great in that. But he is so funny in the Santa Clarita Diet. He's hilarious. David Deutsch, Handmaid's Tale. I did watch season 1 of The Handmaid's Tale. Pretty goddamn dark. And I've heard that season 2 is even darker. I haven't watched season 2 yet. So I don't know if it will, because it sounds really dark. Declan, have I heard of Mundane Matt? I feel like I have. I can't really place it, but I kind of feel like I have heard of Mundane Matt, but I can't really place it. Jatma, Handmaid's Tale was a book, I think, written back as far back as the 70s or 80s by Margaret Atwood. And there was a movie made of it in the 90s that a lot of people don't like. But yeah, last year it became a TV show. And it was very good, very dark. And the second season's just come out. I haven't seen the second season yet. Oh yeah, Catherine, I watched The Good Place. Is fucking great. Good Place, again, very funny show that ties in sort of philosophical ideas about the afterlife. The Good Place is great. Oh, Feeling Silly, you like Cobra Kai? That's like, you can only watch that on YouTube Red, can't you? That's where it is. Jatmer, I'm not sure. It's from the 70s. It's from a while back. Let's use the magic of the internet to find out, because I don't like being in the dark. Handmaid's Tale. Book. Handmaid's Tale book. Ugh. It's all the TV show. I'm an intellectual. I want to know about the book. By Margaret Atwood. When was it published? I'm just trying to find out when it was published. Why is it so hard? 1985. There you go. It was originally published in 1985. I knew it was the 70s or the 80s. It turns out it's the 80s, right in the middle of the 80s. Let's use the magic of the internet to find out who's the Queen of Denmark. Oh yeah, David. I think Mike Pence takes that Handmaid's Tale as a instructional manual, which is really disturbing. Okay, Declan, you're saying this guy is a boring version of Bearing, and he's very racist, hates gospel. He does sound boring. I get what you're saying. I should do a critique, but it's just no. I just don't feel like being defined by people like that. And look, I could, obviously, and I could generate controversy and get more views by indulging in these drama wars and whatnot. I just don't really want to. Oh, review hardcore sports. I probably looked over 300 people in the last month, buddy. It would be funny if there was something where I could actually see how many people I blocked, because it's way into the thousands, way into the thousands. I feel saying I should turn, but it's simply a case of there's so much to watch. I don't even bother to watch stuff illegally, because there's so much stuff I can watch legally that I can't even keep up with that. So yeah. Oh, Shahatna. I reckon I've probably blocked more people than Donald Trump. I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe I have. I don't know how quick Donald Trump is with the block button. I know a lot of people complain about being blocked by Donald Trump, and there was that recent court case where a judge said it was illegal for Trump to block people on Twitter because of the First Amendment, because it's an organ of the government and he should block. I honestly, I mean, it's no surprise to anyone that I have an incredibly low opinion of Trump, but I thought that court ruling, Trump's not allowed to block people, I thought that was stupid. And I get the reasoning, and I get it's actually probably sound legal reasoning, but I still think it's dumb. You can just something can be completely within the law, and I can still think it's dumb. Yeah, I just think people's obsession with the being blocked or being kicked off a platform is just bullshit. Ooh, Aussie Gun Bunny with a big call. Cobra Kai makes YouTube Red worth it. That's good. That's a big call, but I think also the other thing that potentially makes YouTube Red worth it is being able to play all the music without ads. Like you could create fairly comprehensive playlists with no ads if you had YouTube Red. Well, Catherine, you're binging podcasts. See, I've never gotten into podcasts. I listen to music when I'm working. Like, people think I'm a bit weird at work because I'm like the earbuds in all day. But it's partly because I have tinnitus, and I want something apart from the noise of tinnitus in my ears. But also partly is like with music at a low volume, I have this sort of constant white noise level, and I have it down low enough that I still hear if someone calls my name, but I just like having that constant level. It reduces, you're in an open plan office and it reduces the distractions. So, yeah, I think you're right about YouTube Red to avoid the ads. Sean, you heard it's going to be called YouTube Premium. No, who who else couldn't believe that when YouTube introduced their premium service, they called it YouTube Red, so it sounded like RedTube, one of the biggest porn sites on the internet. My God. Ruka-san, yes, my tinnitus is mainly from too many loud concerts. I also have had chronic problems with this ear and had like perforated eardrum, major surgery on the ear a couple times. But the tinnitus is mainly from standing too close to speakers at rock concerts. Lion Spider, One Nation continues to crumble. It's just that Hanson's so autocratic, she eventually pisses people off. She's saying one of her senators is attempting to jump ship and he says he's not. It's kind of like, is she still got, what's his name? He used to work for the Liberal Party as her right hand, who no one else in One Nation likes. Aussie Gun Bunny, look up the YouTube video of how to fix tinnitus. I'd be fascinated as to someone thinks they can cure tinnitus. I know there are some things that are reported to reduce it. Oh, Rukasan, best live gig. Okay. What have I enjoyed it most? See, I was a mad fan of the Angels when I was a lad, and I saw them a couple times and really liked them. Yeah, open floor question, best live gig. Went to a pretty sweaty Midnight Oil gig back in the day. I really liked seeing Billy Bragg live. The Pogues live was pretty legendary. Yeah, I've seen a couple good gigs. Oh my god, Aussie gun bunny. You had when you say you had tinnitus, hearing damage from artillery. That just reminds me of Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam when he'd make up all the callers. One of the callers was a guy from the artillery division who's just yelling, like, "Yeah, my name's Mike. I'm in artillery. What would you like to hear, Mike? Just anything. Just play it really loud." Yes, being around artillery would affect your hearing. Feeling silly, you never made the YouTube RedTube connection. You're probably not on RedTube as much as I. That's it, David James Ashby. Yes, and he apparently has lots of power, and fucking no one else in One Nation likes him, but Pauline Hanson loves him. Oh, Rukusen, your favourite's NoFX. I've never seen NoFX. What have I seen? I'm trying to think. It's been a little while since I've been to a live show because I'm old now. I was thinking, God, what was the last? God, I don't. I forget. One of my all-time favorite bands. Oh, they're doing a reunion show, a one-off soon, and I might try and go see. Called Not Drowning Waving, an Australian band, and they were renowned for a lot of their music being sort of very ambient, very moody. But they also did a very up songs too, and live they were just great. Not Drowning Waving are great live. What was my other favorite Aussie indie acts, like the Falling Joys? They were really good. Pat Talks, yes, I hate racists. I hate racists quite a lot. Ha! Who said no effects are worth it, but Fat Mike talks a lot of shit. I like that. Oh, Lion Spider, you learned how to RedTube because your 11-year-old daughter said kids at school were asking about it. So I don't know, what's RedTube? Oh, that's what RedTube is. Okay, see you soon, Aussie Gun Money. Oh, God. Declan, that is a very interesting point. You will always see groups who seem to be voting against their interest, possibly even their safety. Like I said, minorities who voted for Trump, then Trump introduces policies and encourages attitudes that are very hostile, as in physically hostile to minorities. And you think, oh, it's not about. Basically, people are really different, varied, and depending on your point of view, messed up. I mean, there's always, no matter who you are, there are people that you think are really fucking messed up and go, why the fuck would they think that? Why would they do that? Why would they say that? And yet those people are convinced they're the rational ones, and they're completely on board. Like, I think I'm the rational one, but there's a whole bunch of people who think I'm a lunatic. Why is he so? That's ridiculous. Why would he say? Humans are just incredibly varied and fucked up. So it is sometimes hard to, but I guess we don't get to dictate what's important to someone else. From the outside looking, it's easy for us to go, but how I see you, the topics that I think should be important to you mean you should vote over here, not over here. But we don't really get to dictate how other people see the world and what they place importance on. So shit, it doesn't make sense to us, makes perfect sense to them. Hey, Project Redfoot, I'm winding up the racist, the Tommy Robinson fans tonight. To be fair, I'm actually fairly deliberately trolling them. So yes. Oh, sorry, saying your parents love Pauline Hanson. Yeah, it's an ugly thing. And a lot of my family are fairly conservative and fucking, dare I say it, racist and bigoted. But yeah. Pauline Hanson, I very much hate what Pauline Hanson stands for. I hate the message she preaches. I hate the attitudes she encourages. And I also hate her hypocrisy and cowardice. She's one of the ones who goes, "What have I ever said that was racist?" When the absolute core of everything she's ever said has been racist and bigoted. It just does my head in when there's someone like Hanson whose absolute core message is racism and bigotry, has the audacity to go, "What have I ever said that's racist?" It's like trying to talk to a flat earther. A flat earther says that you should debate them. No, I shouldn't. Motherfucker, literally thousands of years, people worked out just with observations of the night sky that the earth was a globe, okay? And you sit there spouting your dumb shit saying the earth is flat just because. It's like, no, there is no point in engaging with you. Yeah, Chapter Sultan. I think Trump accidentally got it right when he said the Trans-Pacific Partnership was shit. But he always goes back on it as well. So you can't fucking trust him on anything. Sorry, I was reading a few of the comments. I review hardcore sports. My thoughts on female characters in video games. Oh, yes. Of one of those Battlefield games, people were upset that there was a female character on the cover. As like, dudes, fucking get over it because it's not realistic. Nothing in your game is realistic. It's entertainment. Chapter Sultan, I don't disagree. Sorry, I agree with you. I agree with you that there was definitely arrogance in the Clinton campaign. There are also some very bad tactical mistakes. How she managed to fuck up that election is beyond me. But anyway, she did. I see, Cliff Jump. I get what you're saying, that Trump's doesn't qualify as a Republican. He's a libertarian, as in I should be able to do whatever I want. That's not even because I've got friends who are libertarians and I've known people who are long-term libertarians. Particularly on the internet these days, you get people who say they're libertarian, but all they really mean is I'm extremely conservative, but don't think rules should apply to me, because they don't want to grant liberty to other people. True libertarians want people they disagree with to have liberty. But particularly online, the people you get mouthing off these days saying they're libertarian, 9 out of 10 of them are just extreme conservatives who think rules shouldn't apply to them, but they should be able to fuck over anyone else they want. Oh, Declan, dude, asking the big questions there. The people against that woman in that video game didn't like a woman in a prominent position. How can we change such a toxic culture? That, my friend, is a very big question. Yeah. Oh, geez, dude. Okay, you've stumped me. How do we stop this toxic culture? I try and do it by talking, but then again, there's certain people who I think are lost causes, and I'm not very good at talking to them. Oh, in spite of this, I think you got punched in the nose by a girl when you were 12. Taekwondo training. She was really into punching you in the nose, but you were just paying attention to her blue eyes. That's very love struck, dude. At 12, not dodging a right cross because you were lost in her eyes, dude. And yes, Jeff Sultan, you're right. It is actually historically accurate that females fought in many wars, but yes. Declan, you ask very complicated questions, my friend. With women being 50% of the population, why they held back? They have trouble with strong role models. Look, we've gone through centuries of institutionalized repression of women, and we're now coming through a few decades of improvement, and we're now finding a bit of backlash as well. Yeah, you know, you've got to. I can do you. Oh, we're talking about female combatants. I've got to find. I'll see if I can find this Wikipedia entry. There's an Australian female spy in WW2. Nancy Wake. Oh my God! If you want an amazing story, you look up Nancy Wake. She died in 2011, and she worked as a secret agent in the Second World War. Was dropped behind lines in France, and there's this one story, and it's absolutely fucking brilliant. And she's a good-looking woman. The Gestapo called her the White Mouse, and she used her looks to trick soldiers. I'm trying to find. There's this one story. Oh yeah, this is it. On March 1st, 1944, Wake was parachuted into Auvergne, becoming a liaison between London and the local French resistance. And she parachuted in, but got tangled in a tree. And upon discovering her tangled in a tree, Captain Tardivar greeted her, remarking, "I hope that all the trees in France bear such beautiful fruit this year," to which she replied, "Don't give me any of that French shit." That is just pure fucking gold as far as I'm concerned. Nancy Wake, fucking awesome. It's just the idea of it's not just that she was constantly risking her life, that the Gestapo knew she was about and were determined to get her. Even with her allies, when the Frenchman tries to be smooth with her, her response is just, "Don't give me that French shit." Absolutely perfect as far as I'm concerned. Brilliant. And even just being able to come up with that line when you've parachuted behind enemy lines and got tangled in a tree and you're hanging there and some smarmy French git says, "Oh, well, oh, oh, oh," and you just go, "Oh, don't give me that French shit." I never tire of that story. I think it's fucking brilliant. But yes, it's really weird. Like we got into this thing about talking about people in the gaming world who, "Oh, social justice warriors are ruining everything." Do you not ever notice that the people who obsess about SJWs taking front are the ones who actually want to control what everyone else does and says? Was she involved in the fake body one? I don't know. That was a pretty famous British intelligence operation, where they had a dead body and they put some fake plans in its pocket and dumped it at sea, where it would wash up on a beach where the Germans would find it, and it would lead them in the wrong direction. Pretty interesting tactic. So Declan, do I hear a European country wants to kick out 500,000 asylum seekers, saying they're a national security threat? Man, fucking Europe, look, there's no easy solution to the fact that wars in Central Europe and the Middle East are sending waves of refugees all over the place. There is no easy answer. Like, you want to be humanitarian, but it's going to get worse. At the moment, it's wars that are basically displacing people. But if we don't do something fucking radical, you look at some of the projections for climate change and the devastation that could happen as soon as 50 to 100 years from now, with whole nations, continents becoming uninhabitable, the fucking human carnage that's likely to come out of that is mind-blowing. Or is that just a random sycophantic Tommy Robinson horseshit thing that the person then deleted? I don't know. Fucking hell. If you're a Tommy Robinson fan, you're an absolute piece of shit. You shared a link. Oh, How to Stop Tinnitus. Thank you, dude, for sending me the How to Stop Tinnitus thing. I will watch it later because I get it quite badly. Like, when most people think tinnitus, they think like a background noise or like microphone feedback. And that's what it normally is for me. But sometimes when I'm trying to sleep, the noise will be so loud. It's like a howling, screaming noise in my ears. Declan, how do I not dislike people like climate change deniers? I think climate change deniers are really fucking dangerous, like to the actual existence of humanity. Christian Smith, you find it weird that leftists would rage against someone having free speech. That's because you're a brain dead cunt, okay? If you're referencing Tommy Robinson, you're a worthless, sniveling piece of shit. No grey area, okay? People saying, oh, maybe you should listen to it. No. Tommy Robinson is worthless, fucking subhuman garbage. And anyone who would defend him at all is despicable filth. No grey area. You fucking scum, okay? It's as simple as that. Tommy Robinson going to jail has nothing to do with free speech. He deliberately provoked that thing, and he had been explicitly told by a judge, you do this shit again, you'll go to jail, and he did it deliberately. Smith, you stupid, lying cunt. Tommy Robinson was not put in jail for words. He was put in jail for contempt of court. And he already had a conviction for which he was under a suspended sentence. When he got that suspended sentence, he was categorically told by a judge, you do this again, you will go to jail. And he did it again, and surprise, surprise, he went to jail. He was completely aware of what he was doing. He did it deliberately. If you put about he was put in jail for words, you are either chronically stupid or just lying. In either case, you're absolutely beneath fucking notice. Ooh, what's that? I put that in the fridge. Is it leftovers?
Yeah.
What is it? I just hear what it is. Ooh, it's cheesecake. Okay. I'll actually try and be good and not eat. Uncle Ted's cheesecake. Asian style cheesecake. Okay. I have to be really good and try not to eat this. Tommy Robinson is worthless, racist filth, and you're a brain-dead, shit-sucking wanker. Oh, for fuck's sake, you stupid, sniveling twerp. Again, I'm going to spend 5 seconds indulging this pathetic fucking moron. Christian Smith, Tommy Robinson was not jailed on anything to do with free speech. He was threatening an active court case. He knew he was doing it. He knew he was breaking the laws, and he knew he was facing a jail sentence. And his ego is such that he's fucking couldn't stop himself. I don't know. But it's got nothing to do. Well, actually, no, I will backpedal that slightly. If you want to talk about the American version of free speech, you kind of could argue it. But under British law, it was absolutely categorical. If he broadcast details of the people who were on trial, he would be in contempt of court. And he knew that because he was already convicted of doing that. And he was told point blank by the judge in that case, if you do this again, you will be jailed. It's under British law, it has nothing to do with free speech. It was contempt of court. It's absolutely cut and dried, and everyone anyone who says otherwise is either too fucking stupid to grasp really simple concepts or is just simply a worthless, lying, racist sack of shit, or a really ungodly combination of the two, profoundly stupid and profoundly racist. Either way, utterly beneath contempt. Because then, I want to make the cheesecake. There's a lot of cheesecake in here. It's a baked cheesecake. I probably do want to eat some of it, quite honestly, but I'll just put it down for now. Because watching someone eat is really gross. So I'm not actually eat while I'm talking. That's all. Almost time to say goodbye. Didn't finish my drink. Go to bed. Face work tomorrow. Baked cheesecake is my favorite. It's actually a little bit hard to do. Yeah, Lance, but you're right. The trial could have potentially been aborted and those sex offenders never convicted because of Tommy Robinson. Joel, if you're sick of seeing him in the media, it'll only last a couple of days. You won't see him. People will get bored and it'll be a non-story after. But yes, I have, look, it is perfectly feasible that what Tommy Robinson wanted was for this trial to be aborted and for the offenders to never be convicted, because that would fit into his narrative, and his narrative is more important than sex offenders actually facing punishment. Ooh, Jahatna, you're a Pavlova fan. Chapter Sultan, when's my next live stream? Maybe on Saturday night. Maybe late on Saturday night. Because for those who are earlier, you may remember me saying it was young Mr. Angry's 18th birthday today, which is where this cake comes from. And I said he could have some friends over for a party on Saturday night, which I'm going to sort of chaperone from distance. But if they do it, they'll be like in the next room there, and they're all nerds, and they'll be playing video games and stuff. And I might chaperone from here. I might do a live stream while an 18th birthday party, and we'll see. Declan, Kevin Logan's been on one of these streams with me because this is a Google Hangout. And yeah, I know Kevin on the social media. We actually hooked up so he could be online at one time, and he joined me on one of these live streams. I'm not having anyone from the party on the live stream. A significant number of the people at the party will be 18, yeah. Bradley, how long do I think it will be before people get bored? With what? With Tommy? With Tommy, I think a week. He won't be in the news a week from now. Oh, dude, Aussie Gun Bunny, traditional Turkish delight. Oh my God, yes. Proper, real Turkish delight with the icing sugar. Yes. Yes, I'm a big fan of that. Also, like other Middle Eastern desserts like baklava. Cliff jumper, you want to try a lift jump? Oh, do it sometime, yes. So yes, you might see me live on Saturday night. I haven't decided for sure. I've been having a little bit of trouble getting motivated to do videos lately. And so I'm thinking maybe an artificial goal. Those who know me, in months, starting with a J. No, you're not block Christian Smith. I'm just fucking ignoring you because you're boring. I try to do a video every day in June, if nothing arises, which forms the acronym VAGINA, because I am so easily amused and have such a childish sense of humor. So I may try to do a video every day in June, if nothing arises. David, see, I don't like tiramisu because I don't like coffee. Project Redfoot, I love John Clark. It was so sad when he died. The Clark and Door videos are absolutely fucking hilarious. Declan, you're right. You are spot on. I should do more collaborations. Oh, how's it going, Bunny? I think you're on a winner. Share the best of each culture around the world, and everyone should know that we should share. Yes. Oh, Declan, I'm quite convinced Kevin would be down because, like I said, we've done a live stream together. Christy, I don't actually know, but yeah, maybe. Who knows? Project Redfoot, yeah, because Clark and Dawes, they've been doing that since the 90s. Big fan of Clark and Daw. Yes, okay, I'm going to go now. That's my parting recommendation. Go on YouTube and look up Clark and Daw. Their videos are very funny, very unique. Oh, Cliff Jumper, I will just give you a little update before I go and say he's not well. He's very unwell. In fact, he's just got out of hospital again. And what he thought, or what the doctors thought was cellulitis, is actually something much worse and untreatable. It's an incurable disease. Something about his veins collapsing, basically, and the veins crack and leak blood into his legs. And it's really fucking awful because it's filling in pain and awfulness. So we've got to send all the positive things to AZ because he's not well and is in pain. And we'll hopefully see him again soon. I'll hopefully see you again soon. You all take care of yourselves. I'm going to try and make some more videos, and I might do a live stream on Saturday night with a friggin' 18th birthday party right next to me. Who knows? Anything could happen. But you all take care of yourselves. I'm glad that you all dropped by again. Oh, Ruki-san, absolutely. Send me PMs about shit and some tracks you're working on. That would be very cool, my friend. The rest of you look after yourselves. I'll be back again soon-ish. Hope to see you along. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you all later. Bye now.